G'day everybody, how are you going today? It is so good to see you. I am filming here on the beautiful shores of southern Italy. We've now moved northwest from where we were in Lefkada, and we are now in the beautiful seaside town of Monopoli. I'm not sure if that's the correct way to say it. Let me know in the comments below. The sun has just gone down. This is the view from our Airbnb. We've got the beautiful ocean here in the background and some just absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous ancient buildings behind us here, chapels and the old city. We went to another town earlier today where there's just some of the most amazing swimming opportunities. So please don't mind my beach bunny looks. Enough of what's going on here. This trip will continue for a little longer yet. There will be further updates. But in this episode, I want to share with you something very interesting, very intriguing in regards to Nikon RAW video codecs and Red RAW codecs. And we could be drawing a little bit of a picture out of this observation, out of this information that's come to light. If you rename your NRAW files, so NRAW files that might come from a Z8, a Z9, a Z5 II, a Z6 III, and of course now a ZR, any of those cameras, if you rename those files to R3D files, they can now be read and seen as RED files, R3D files, in DaVinci Resolve. Now it's only working in the latest version, or one of the more recent versions, 20.2. But all you're doing is changing the file extension. That's it, changing the file extension, and DaVinci Resolve is treating these files as RED files. And I've watched a couple of videos about it, and basically they're saying they look the same. They're treated the same. Now, the fact that RAW decompressor is able to decompress these files, these NRAW files that have just had their extension changed, there has been no transcoding. No transcoding. The files are not being changed from one format to another. This would suggest that they are the same, and you can just change the file extension. Now, what's a little bit crazy about this, of course, is let's cast our minds back to when the Z9 was shipped. It was launched, I think, October, November of 2021, shipped the 24th of December, 2021, but we were told we had to wait until mid-2022 for the RAW update to the Z9. Now, this was a bit intriguing at the time because it was kind of like, well, why not put it in the camera on launch? The theory at the time was the firmware is not finalized, Nikon is doing something new, it's just not quite ready for the 2021 launch. Okay, that's fine, we accept that. Now that is only 3 years ago. It seems like a long time ago, but it's not, it's 3 years ago. Now, a year and a half ago, so half of that time, Nikon tells us that they have purchased RED. Something like 18 months after Nikon released their internal RAW, which no one else had really been able to do like Nikon had done. And they basically, the lawsuit was resolved. My theory is that Nikon and RED were already in discussions back then, back in 2021. And in 2022. And it could be even longer than that. And this is why the codecs are similar. Not only were they in discussion, but they were already sharing technology. Because lo and behold, the technology is the same. Lo and behold, does RED also use Tico RAW if Nikon uses Tico RAW? There's just a lot of coincidences here, and it's not really a coincidence when you have Nikon RAW files and Red RAW files. You can just change the file extension and they're read as RED files. It's hard data, it's a hard fact that would presume that actually the codecs are the same. I reckon Nikon and RED were in discussion quite a long time ago. conversations around, yes, we might acquire you. Probably we will acquire you. Yes, we're going to acquire you. All right, we've just got to work out all of the nuts and bolts. Another component of all of this is that the ZR and the Z6III are very similar cameras, similar sensor, similar internals, and so on. If we think about the Z6III, it came out the middle of 2024. A camera like this is in development for years, probably somewhere between 3 and 4 years minimum, which means it was being developed, the technology in it was being developed at the same time that all of these discussions were going on. We now get a derivative of the Z6III, which is the ZR, which has a codec, which has NRAW. It also has Red RAW. I don't think these are coincidences. I think this has all been a wonderful game of chess by Nikon and by Red. They've been playing it for a number of years, and here we are. Now, because I'm away, I haven't actually tested this myself, but it's been absolutely confirmed to me that this is happening. NRAW files, change the file extension to R3D, and it is treated as a RED file. A 12-bit RED file, but still a RED file. This makes my mind boggle as to what Nikon cameras will be capable of doing. And I suspect that the R3D 12-bit, the NE, so the Nikon Edition 12-bit that we're getting today, is just the beginning. And Nikon basically have the technology today to move forwards and give us more. And we can see it by the price point. Yeah, I was looking at the FX3 today, and the Australian price is 5,500 or 6,000, where the ZR is 3,500. So again, it's almost half the price. It is my belief that Nikon are absolutely just whetting our appetite, and they are bringing all the pieces of their puzzle together, and we are seeing hard evidence of those bits. And for people that complain about the few Cine things that are missing, they're just teasing us. All of that stuff is going to come. They obviously own all of that technology when it comes to Red. They've just released that new Red camera, the XE, which has a few features stripped out of it, yes, but it is still a global 8K sensor for 15,000 USD. For those that want to be in that space, I think it's a bit of a steal. Absolutely amazing. I think watch this space over the next 2 or 3 years. I think a lot is going to happen, and we haven't even talked about the Cine glass. The Cine glass is so exciting. As I talked about in my recent live stream and in a previous video, we've got 4 lenses. They're probably a 24, a 35, a 50, and an 85. And there was a great theory brought up in my live stream that these might be 1.4s. And again, that makes a lot of sense. I've been testing some Sirui 1.4s, and they are a similar sort of size, similar sort of ratio. I think there is a lot of synergy between Nikon and Red, and I think it might have been going on slightly longer than we've thought. This is really interesting. I look forward to testing it out and sharing it with you when I get home, just simply because I literally don't have enough storage with me. That's the biggest problem when you're shooting raw files, is it's going to take up a lot of my storage very quickly. Plus, I don't have a copy of DaVinci Resolve with me. So anyway, I am on holidays. I'll do that when I get back. So that's very exciting, very interesting to me. And I think when you think about the pieces of the puzzle that Nikon have at their fingertips, watch this space. And when we think about what the ZR is, watch this space. And when we think how good Nikon's S lenses are, and these, really affordable 1.8s, they're not affordable 1.8s when you consider DSLR 1.8s, but they're very affordable when you consider the level of quality that they are. They are better than the 1.4s of old, of DSLR, but cheaper. I can't wait to see what these lenses are going to be all about. The rumors continue to heat up in regards to the SONY A7V. Sony Alpha rumors are talking about it most probably being a 33 megapixel sensor, which may be the same, but with the AI focus chip and a faster processor to make it overall work a little bit better, but you'll still have the rolling shutter issues that exist with the current A7 IV, the A7C II, and the FX2, or it'll be a stacked 33 megapixel sensor. This seems to be where the rumors are landing. It's going to be one of those two, and we should be hearing something in October. It'll be really interesting to see whether they take it further than what they took the FX2. It's interesting to me that the FX2 is that 33 megapixel sensor. It's for cine, but it's slow. Bit of a strange move when the ZR is the opposite. They've gone with the faster sensor. Swings and roundabouts. We will see. Because this sensor is already developed, that might be the main reason why they continue to use it. It's a little bit like the A1 and the A1 II. That sensor was already developed. They don't have to spend a lot of money developing a new sensor, and this is important at the moment in the industry. Rumors are also heating up about the Canon R6III, and that might be the next camera we see from Canon. And again, the rumor on that is it's going to be the same sensor that was just released in the C50. So we're seeing an interesting pattern here. The Z6III and the ZR, same sensor. The FX2 and potentially the new A7V, same sensor, maybe. And the C50 and the R6III, the same sensor, which they are saying will be that 32 megapixel sensor. Now, the interesting thing about that Canon sensor is that it's faster than the Sony 33, significantly faster, like almost twice as fast, but it's not as fast as the Z6III/ZR, which is 9.2 or 9.1 milliseconds in 4K. So really interesting. We're probably going to see the A7V and the R6III pretty soon. And will this mean that I will do another epic, massive comparison this time between the Z6III, the A7V, and the R6III? Well, it's dependent on a few things. Firstly, it's dependent on resources to buy those cameras. I'll see what I can do. And the second thing will be that was massive. It took me about a month, basically, to shoot and then edit and just get it right and learn everything about each system, because they all do things a little bit differently. We'll see. Anyway, I just wanted to give you that little update on what's going on with the new mid-range cameras from Sony and Canon. And also, I think really interesting to see that perhaps the Nikon-Red relationship has been going on even longer than we thought. And well, I think that means really exciting things in the next couple of years. Yes, Z Cine lenses. Yes, we've had this new 8K Red, fantastic. And yes, we've got the ZR, which is just the first chapter in Z cinema cameras. I'm 100% confident, and I don't think it'll be too long. I think my best guess would be Z9 II. My guess is will be X-Speed 8. That's my best guess. And as we've said before, I don't think it's going to be this year. It might be another year to 18 months, something like that. Let's say. I reckon sometime in that window or after the Z9 II, somewhere around there, we might see that new processor in the next level. Maybe. Who knows? But right now, ZR, wow, can't wait to get my hands on mine and just show you how flexible, how awesome, use some cine lenses. And yeah, I'm really hoping we get things like D, squeeze, and open gate. There's some of the things that I'd like to see as someone who's very visual and wants to squeeze the most out of my equipment. Neither of those things are essential, but they'd be great fun. All right, everybody. Well, please let me know what you think of all of that. What are your Red Nikon theories? I'd love to hear those as well. Are you perhaps interested in getting an R6III or a Sony A7V? Do let me know in the comments below when those cameras come out. Do you want me to do that three-way comparison? It'll be epic. All right, it's been so good to see you, and if this is your first time here, I would love to see you again. And just before I go, we'll just say cheers. Cheers to a Monopoly. Prosecco, of course. We're here in Italy. We've got to have Prosecco. Fabulous. All right. Bye for now.